Welcome to the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit reading. Today, we pulled the vulture, guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, the vulture's energy clarifies and reveals wisdom. When out of balance, it is dramatic and aggressive. To bring it into balance, cleaning your space and sage is recommended. Well, the first thing that came to my mind was my own situation. How apt is that? Some of you may or may not know that I graduated school as a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. And currently, I can't elaborate because it's legal now. But I will say this. When I graduated school 4 years ago, we're all excited. We're getting to do what we love. But then there was this little issue. Well, I say little, but it was vast. Because, put it this way, there are still many people attempting to pass a licensing exam. When that happens to you, it starts to make you feel like, what? Am I stupid? I've just spent how many years treating the general public and I can't pass an exam? Well, the perspective had to change because it wasn't the student, just the way the system was designed. So I'm looking at this situation with my classmates and we're like, oh, what's happening? And you feel stuck in limbo. You've just borrowed 6 figures from the government to go to school. Because that's what you hear. Get an education. And I felt crushed. I felt defeated. I questioned my own mind. I questioned everything. And something happened. In all of that, while I was processing the information and trying to figure out what to do, I started to discover things about myself that I never knew. Things like my desire to know and to understand myself. And my father one day said to me, had you gotten your license, you would not be down this path that you're on right now. You would not be helping yourself and you would not be helping other people. And it made me wonder, wow, he's more than likely right, because I would have been hustling, to pay the bills. That's what I would have been doing. And I would not be seeing and knowing and understanding myself. And I would not have been available to people who were coming to me for guidance. And it was like, why are they coming to me? Do they see something that I can't see? Do they know something that I don't know about me? Yes, they did. I had to come into that knowledge that I had something to offer. And that chances are I would not have written the book either. So you see, what looked like this great tragedy, as I said, it's being rectified, but at the time, I remember opening up my mailbox and getting the letter. Dun, dun, dun. I cried on the pavement. I was on the pavement on my knees and I was crying. Because I felt like truly my world had come to an end. What did I do wrong? Those are the things I was asking myself. And that's where I recognize, because that is the most significant thing. It was a pivotal moment. And as soon as I pulled the vulture this morning, I understood. I understood that the way I felt towards whomever regarding school and licensing, I had to change the perspective, because I started to see what the other people were seeing inside of me. So today, perhaps you're going through situations or a situation where you feel perhaps like you're hopeless and all is lost. It is not. Remember, yesterday we were in a transformative phase. And I said, when this transformation happens, we are developing characteristics that we require for when we come out of that transformation. The transformation is preparing you. In essence, it is purifying you and getting you ready for this new phase that we're going into. And it's very interesting, because I did shuffle the deck twice, because I pulled the vulture and I was like, and I sat here with it, I put it back in, and there it was again, and I'm like, and now it begins to make sense. The transformation happens, but all the mess left behind from the transformation, the vulture is coming in to take all of that away, all of that mess, so that when you move forward, it is clean. Be encouraged today that the situations or the situation that we are dealing with is being cleaned up. It is being cleaned up. Think about it. You're moving out of somewhere. What are you going to do? You're going to leave it in a mess? Well, that would be highly inconsiderate. But what do? You clean it, or you hire a cleaner in my case, and you leave it spotless. So the vulture's energy today is cleaning it up and rebalancing, so that when we are on to that next phase, there's nothing holding you back. There's no clutter. There's nothing back there to draw your attention from your forward momentum. You see, So sometimes we want to, I know I did. I didn't want to, oh, I did. We want to get angry, which is completely natural to do. We want to be frustrated, which again is completely natural. We want to do all of those things. And it's natural to feel those emotions and to go through the experience. But there will come a time where we've got to look at that experience and go, okay, I learned. I understand. Because it will not last forever. The experience. Even though it feels like winter will last forever. That's what it feels like. But spring, thank God, is coming. But again, it is gradual. So that it can be easily assimilated. A gradual change. So know today. Don't believe. Know. Know. K-N-O-W. Know that the situation that you are transforming out of right now, all the hurt feelings, all the misunderstandings, all of that is being cleaned up and prepping you for your next phase. Because the funny thing is, if you don't clean it up, you'll have to come back and deal with it again. And growth is not like that. Clean it up so that you can move forward without a hindrance. It's like the person who's walking their dog and it poops on the grass. And they leave it there. So you come along, or somebody else comes along, and you step in it. Right? Clean up the mess. Clean up the mess. That's what the vulture's doing today. Cleaning up the mess. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to have that mess cleaned up, because then you feel good. And I like the word she used. A rebalancing. It is so good. It is so good. I don't know about you, but I know I feel encouraged today. I feel very encouraged today to know that what felt painful is not. So, if you've never saged before, you can go to like lapidary. They sell like crystals and stones and such. But you can get a sage incense. You can get the sage brush itself. The indigenous cultures, native cultures, they use sage a lot. And you know what science is discovering now is that sage, actually, when you burn it, gets rid of the bacteria in the air. We needed science to tell us that burning sage cleanses. Oh dear. But they confirmed it, so get some sage. And once you burn your sage, I love the smell of it. It really does cleanse. Be refreshed today. Be rebalanced today. Because what we thought was a bad break was a transformation. And all the debris left behind from that transformation must be cleaned up. So allow the vulture to come in and clean it up. So I will post some links for saging information and the link to the podcast, to my YouTube, and feel free to share what your situation was and where the vulture is in your life. Look for the vulture, because shoot, they're not easy to miss. You see them, so you'll see the situation and you'll know it. Where is the vulture in your life? And I simply want to say thank you for cleaning up. Thank you. Much love.